sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Cimnanya. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash that subscribe button, turn your notification so you are notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all so much, and I am saying a very big shout out to every one of you for all the love and support you all shower me here with. I am grateful, and you all are super sweet. Thank you so much. So today we'll be talking something very important, and before we get into this video, I want to say this. You all keep saying everything is not all about race, but trust me, everything is all about race. Because I don't see how something like this is playing out, and they all palm color people think this is okay. White all jury, they decided to do what they know how to do best. I mean, this is a case of a black nurse who was actually doing her duty, and she was actually spraying the table to clean up, and a white nurse actually came in, was like, I thought you were spraying me with disinfectant. How was she spraying you with disinfectant when she was like trying to clean the table? And then shoved her on the chest. And the woman tried to get help and tried to make a call. And she also grabbed the phone and hit her with the phone. She was also trying to defend herself, because you don't let people attack you this way. And she hit her with a bottle, disinfectant bottle, on the head. That was it, nothing more. And she ended up turning herself to the cops and the rest of it. Guess what is going on? As it stands, she is going to prison. She's going to pay 50K bond. And at the same time, her license is going to be taken away from her. Why? Because she was defending herself from her attacker. So her attacker is free. And the attacked is now the one that is facing all the charges and all that. And somebody's going to sit down somewhere and tell me it's not about race, and it is about what? That an old woman who was trying to defend herself is going to go through all these pains. I don't even want to wrap my head what this woman, like what is going on around this woman and like how she's feeling right now. But we want this video to blow up. I want people to get to know this, because people are already reporting it, and they want the case, like, you know, to like be looked into. I am gonna roll this clip. We'll come back to talk about it. I absolutely want to read all your comments. Let me know what you all think in the comments. So straight up, let me roll.
This is Sybil Garbo. She is 72 years old, and she has been a nurse for over 40 years, and she's going to prison for 6 months. So she was recently convicted of assault, felony assault, and the judge in Minnesota last month sentenced her to 6 months. Sybil says that back in 2021, she was working in a mental health facility. She had a can of disinfectant that she was using to spray the desk and wipe down the desk, and it was an aerosolized can. Another nurse, a white nurse by the name of Devlin Stitt, came in and claimed that she thought Sybil was spraying her with the disinfectant. Devlin then shoved Sybil in the chest. Sybil tried to pick up the phone to call for help. Devlin grabbed the phone, hit Sybil with the phone. For those keeping track, that's now 2 against Sybil. At which point, Sybil then used the can of disinfectant and hit Devlin with it and ran off. And she said she was afraid and that it was self-defense. She ultimately ended up telling coworkers to call for help because there was a laceration to the other nurse's head for her to get medical attention. And then later that day, Sybil ended up turning herself into the police. She said that she was very much aware that this was a black nurse that injured a white nurse, even though it was, you know, provoked, obviously, and self-defense. And she was in fear. And eventually it went to a jury trial. And Sybil says there was an all-white jury, not a single black member on the jury. And she has now been convicted of a felony and is going to a minimum security prison for 6 months. And then will have 5 years of probation. She has to repay over $51,000 in restitution. She lost her job, of course, and she can no longer hold a Minnesota nursing license with the felony. And I just feel like this case is being swept under the rug, and it's not being talked about enough. She's never been in trouble her whole life. She's been a nurse over 40 years. And you're going to tell me now at 72, suddenly she's dangerous? Really?
Y'all are not gonna like this at all. A 72-year-old black nurse was just put in prison for defending herself against a white nurse at the job. And I know it don't sound real, but this is a real story. Listen to this. This is in Minnesota. The 72-year-old nurse name is Sybil. Sybil says she was working. She had a can of disinfectant that she was using to spray the desks and wipe off the counters. So out of nowhere, a white nurse came to Sybil and said she claimed that she thought she was spraying her with the disinfectant and continued to shove Sybil in the chest. Sybil then tried to grab the phone, a phone, and call for help, and then she took the phone and hit Sybil with it. So after being hit twice, Sybil then retaliated with the can of aerosol and hit her across the, I believe, the head, and then ran off. Now, despite this being clear self-defense, Sybil had to turn herself in to police later that day. So this case went to trial, and I'm told it was an all-white jury, and they ended up convicting Sybil of and giving her 6 months in prison and 5 years probation and fines of over $50,000. So needless to say, she lost her job, and she also lost her Minnesota nursing license behind this. And nobody's really talking about it, and we can't let it happen like that. So what I need you to do is share this story, make this go viral. I'm going to do more digging. Me and my crew are going to do what we can to help Sybil out. And please let Sybil and family know we got her back and we stand with her in the comments. Share this. We need to bring awareness to this because I don't like it. And if you don't like it, let me know in the comments.
Right here just broke my heart. So you telling me this lady at work disinfecting a couple of things, yes, she do got aerosol on her hand as far as like a Lysol cleaner product. This white coworker comes up and say, hey, she's trying to spray me, she attacking me and blah 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 blah, and Miss Sybil Garbo protects herself. Yes, the white coworker ended up having a couple of dashes because guess what? She started throwing blows at Miss Sybil. You get what I'm saying? She protected herself. No one is going to just let somebody just whammy, wham, wham on them. Come on now, y'all. You get what I'm saying? And, unfortunately, this 72-year-old woman was found guilty, and she's going to be going to prison for 6 months. She's 72 years old. This definitely played a big part of racism. This definitely was a race thing. So you telling me that because this white woman say I was trying to spray her? This is dangerous. Please share this. Like, comment. We need to get this more across different platforms. It is some organizations working with her. We got to just stay prayed up, you guys. People like this, that coworker, she think, oh, she hit me and this is not cool. This is not cool. But yep, come on. Blow this story up so this lady can go home. And hopefully she'll lose her nursing license, but I'm not sure she already did. But this right here breaks my heart.
This story sounds like some whole wheat bullshit. Listen.
This is Sybil Garbo. She is 72 years old and she has been a nurse for over 40 years and she's going to prison for 6 months. So she was recently convicted of assault, felony assault, and the judge in Minnesota last month sentenced her to 6 months. Sybil says that back in 2021, she was working in a mental health facility. She had a can of disinfectant that she was using to spray the desk and wipe down the desk, and it was an aerosolized can. Another nurse, a white nurse by the name of D0ing Stitt, came in and claimed that she thought Sybil was spraying her with the disinfectant. D0ing then shoved Sybil in the chest. Sybil tried to pick up the phone to call for help. D0ing grabbed the phone, hit Sybil with the phone. For those keeping track, that's now 2 against Sybil. At which point, Sybil then used the can of disinfectant and hit D0ing with it and ran off. And she said she was afraid and that it was self-defense. She ultimately ended up telling coworkers to call for help because there was a laceration to the other nurse's head for her to get medical attention. And then later that day, Sybil ended up turning herself into the police. She said that she was very much aware that this was a black nurse that injured a white nurse, even though it was, provoked, obviously, and self-defense. And she was in fear. And eventually it went to a jury trial. And Sybil says there was an all-white jury, not a single black member on the jury. And she has now been convicted of a felony and is going to a minimum security prison for 6 months. And then will have 5 years of probation. She has to repay over $51,000 in restitution. She lost her job, of course, and she can no longer hold a Minnesota nursing license.
So, black nurse cleans up the office. White nurse comes in thinking that the black nurse is spraying the disinfectant in her. She pushes her. The black nurse tries to call for help. The white nurse snatches the phone out of her hand, hits her again. Black nurse defends herself. Black nurse goes to jail for 6 months and has to pay over $50,000 in restitution. If you scared, stay home. This is a case of I'm fearing for my life. So we're going to put a 72-year-old. Where are those people that thought Carolyn Bryant was too old to go to jail? Where you at? Where they at do? Where they at do? Where that convict at? Where he at? Where he at? 72 years old. Going to jail for defending her fucking self. I get that there is a 2-tiered system of justice in this country. I understand it. There's the justice system for the rich, and there's the justice system for everybody else. I get that. But do you also have to be so blatantly fucking obviously racist about some bullshit? Do you? Do you? This story don't even sound right. This does not pass any fucking smell test whatsoever. It don't. And because of it, a 72-year-old black nurse can no longer be a nurse in the state of Minnesota, is going to jail for 6 months, has to pay over $50,000 in restitution. All because this goofy white bitch over here thought some shit. So, for everybody that thought Carolyn Bryant was too old to go to prison, where are you? Bring your motherfucking ass here. Defend this. Defend it. All white jury. It's funny. Doesn't sound biased at all. I fear for my life. I didn't know that people outside of the police department could use that fucking excuse. I didn't know that. I don't know how many times I've feared for my goddamn life. Maybe I should use it. Somebody make this make sense. Somebody make this make fucking sense. This is a clear-cut case of a person trying to defend themselves from some crazed-ass woman, and she's going to jail. The person who was the actual person that was attacked is going to fuck to jail. When people say there is a just us system, don't fucking doubt them. Don't. Because it's awful fucking convenient that the Lady Justice is supposed to be blind in a motherfucker, right? That bitch can see when you got money, and she can also see when you got melanin in your skin. This shit don't make no motherfucking sense.
This is all I got from the video, and then somebody's gonna stand out or from somewhere say that everything is not about race, and I wonder what this is. 72 years old who was attacked, and the attack is being punished when the attacker is actually free. Somebody who was actually trying to defend herself from being assaulted. I mean, she was already assaulted, but she tried defending herself from the person assaulting her, and now she is the one that will go to prison, the one that will pay how many thousand bond, and the one that her license will be taken away. I mean, it's just really sad how all this play out, and how Black people are always targeted in their places of work and all that. And some people are gonna be like, everything is not all about race, everything is not all about this, it's not all about that. But now you all can see how all this is playing out. What do you have to tell me about this? What do you have to say about this? What is going on? That a 72 years old woman who has worked for how many years, that never got into any trouble, 40 years or more than 40 years, because she was standing up for herself. I mean, it's just crazy how you all are always threatened. You thought she was spraying you, somebody that was spraying the table to clean it off. How was she spraying you? Not just only did you push her on her chest, you also hit her with her phone while she was trying to call for help. I mean, when will all this stop? When will Black people stop? I mean, being attacked like this? Because this is a clear case of being attacked because of your skin color or because of your race. Because I don't see someone who was standing up for herself from being beaten, because she was already assaulting, beating her. Someone that was standing up for herself. How is she the one that is going through all this stress and pains? I don't even want to know what this old woman is going through right now. 6 months in prison, 50K. And her also license. Like, what the hell is going on with you people? How do you people think? And the jury, it shows the red to the C's, it shows. It's all glowing. Because it's really sad that this woman had to go through this. And I want this video to blow up. People are already making videos. They are talking about it. They want these people to know about it. They also want her back home, because she does not deserve to be in any prison. Because it was self-defense. She was trying to defend herself from her attacker. This is where I'm going to draw the curtain. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.